everybody. I have really missed being out on the road. I had to travel back to Nebraska for a funeral recently, and I really thought we were going to be able to go riding while I was there, but it was just horribly windy, and as a passenger, it would have sucked. So we just didn't do it. When it wasn't windy, it was just not good weather. So anyways, I'm really excited to be out on the road again and filming. Really looking forward to talk to you about some different stuff today. So first off, I just got new gloves finally. Probably poor timing because it's actually like almost 70 degrees here, so I don't know that I really need gauntlet gloves, but so far I'm liking them. I think I probably could have gone a size smaller just because when you curl your hands around the handlebars, the gloves bunch up just a little bit, so it's a little bit weird. But it's super nice not having wind blow up my sleeves. Loving it. Other than that, today I wanted to talk about choosing your first motorcycle. So I've seen online where a lot of people will ask, what should I get for my first bike? And I've noticed that a lot of people had made comments that when they go to look at bikes or when they talk to different people to get their opinion, they tend to get sold on a smaller bike. And a smaller bike might not actually be what's best for you when you start out. I personally experienced the exact same thing. Every time that I went into a dealership, I kind of got pushed towards a Sportster, and usually the 883s. Nobody ever pointed out Softails or some of the other bikes that are kind of comparable in size. Everybody was convinced that anything bigger than an 883 would just be too big and too unmanageable for me, you know. I also had a lot of people comment and say, oh, a Sportster 1200, that's a heavy bike. That's really big. You're such a tiny person. It's so silly that you would get a bike like that. Why is that your first bike? So I just wanted to share a little bit about my perspective. I agree that starting out, for specific people, it could be a really good idea to go with something smaller. I, in particular, really wanted a Harley. I had spent a lot of time with my boyfriend going to the dealerships and looking at bikes, and I was sold on a Harley. That's all I wanted. I could not be convinced to get anything else. I just really loved them. That being said, we spent a lot of time also going to other dealerships and looking at Kawasaki's, Triumphs, Hondas, just different manufacturers. And a lot of the other manufacturers have bikes that are still cruiser style bikes, and they are a little bit smaller. They might sit closer to the ground, they might be lower weight. And all of those bikes, I would say, would be great options for someone starting out. Especially if you're very, very nervous about the weight and the distribution and getting on a bike. If it's your first time and you're just not sure what you're going to be comfortable with, then by all means, a smaller bike like that would be great for you. For me, I knew that I wanted a cruiser. I don't know why, I'm just not into the sports bikes that much. One day I'll probably ride one just to see what it's like, because you never know, I might change my mind. But I knew I wanted a cruiser style bike, and I knew that I was going to go ride on the highways, and almost probably 90% of my time or more was going to be highway riding. So I absolutely wanted to make sure that whatever bike I got, it had enough power that it wasn't going to be a problem for me out on the highway. And I also was riding with my boyfriend who had just gotten, now I'm trying to remember the timing. I think he got his Road King Special before I got my Harley. Before that, he had a Kawasaki, and I forget which model of Kawasaki. At any rate, his bike was bigger than my bike, had a lot more power, and I would have struggled to keep up with him if I had an 883. I also would have struggled on the highway with the 883 because it would have just, I would have maxed out and it wouldn't have been very much fun trying to ride. So for me, that's why I did that. I went with a 1200, and I actually was not necessarily looking for a Sportster, but that was one of the bikes that everybody kept telling me would be a good starter bike. Another thing that I've noticed with women in particular, sorry guys, I know I talk about women a lot, but I'm a woman, so I gotta share my perspective. Hopefully it'll help you out too if you have girlfriends or friends, female riders that are trying to get into riding or looking at different bikes. Hopefully my perspective helps you too. So for women in particular, I've noticed that they get pushed towards Sportsters because they're smaller bikes. So they're told a lot of times, like I was told, oh, this will be great for you starting out. It's a great motorcycle. And I absolutely love my Sportster, but Sportsters are top heavy. So for a very first bike, I honestly think I could have gone with something different. I've been looking at softail frames, and I really love the softails. And I will say, even if the engine and even if the bike weight is a little bit heavier, to me, that bike rides smoother. It doesn't shake you to death. I mean, character of the Sportster is that the engine, it really vibrates and kind of shakes you. But the softails, the engine's a lot smoother, and the weight distribution is so different. I am actually way more comfortable on a softail than I am on a Sportster. And I've only ridden a softail one time. And it was instant. I noticed it instantly when I got on there. So those are some things to keep in mind. One bike is not a perfect fit for everybody starting out. It is going to depend on you and what you want and what you want to do with your motorcycle. I was trying to get away from this truck with the cows. Hello, cows! They're just throwing a lot of dirt at me, but I guess I'm too slow. It is what it is. Also just realized that I did not strap my helmet strap, so that's not good. I'll have to pull over and fix it. On a completely other note, completely random thought, I somehow, I have no idea how, popped a blood vessel in my pointer finger on my left hand yesterday. I was walking in the house, just moving my laptop to go outside because it was so nice. I wanted to work outside. I'll go strap my helmet back on. And as I was walking, I was like, geez, that's really weird. My finger's like going numb. It feels really strange. And I looked down and it was full of blood. It was just like turning red and blue and purple, and I will never understand how that happens. I wasn't even holding anything with that hand. I was just walking. This is the weirdest thing. Apparently that's common for when you get older, I've heard that like your blood vessels just pop randomly. So that's something to look forward to. I'll just stop here. Gloves off. One thing I hate about leather gloves is they're just bulky enough that I have a hard time. It's like anytime you try to grab something, it just doesn't work out well. Hello, guy. By the way, here are my gloves. Odin's. I saw there's a handful of YouTubers that wear Odin's and they really liked them. And I had tried Black Brand before. My boyfriend actually bought me some really nice Black Brand gloves, but they just didn't fit right. They were too loose. And the weirdest thing for like the quality and the brand name and everything, weirdest thing was that one of the gloves was kind of, it was like looser in the fingers than the other glove. So it's like, okay, well that's not really ideal, not gonna work. Here we go, U-turn. Not good at these. Oh, I think I did okay that time. Go me. So anyways, the reason I was bringing up my pointer finger with the blood vessel popped is because I'm kind of struggling with the clutch a little bit. It's not hurting, but I'm like trying to be cautious not to smush it and make it worse, and it's making it tricky to pull the clutch. My clutch lever is already kind of far out for me. I have tiny hands, and you have to have some pretty good grip, so it's fun. But I'll be damned if I was gonna let a damn little blood blister thing, blood vessel, stop me from going out today. I needed this. So back to topic for the day. I would pick your first bike to be what you want it to be and what you need it to be based on what you want to do. I certainly would get advice from other people because there are a lot of people out there at the dealerships, friends, family, lots of people, YouTubers, that they have experience, they've test rode different bikes, they've been out more than maybe you have, especially if you're new, and they can give you their unique perspective on what worked for them and what didn't work for them. And that perspective might be something that will be really helpful for you. Take their perspectives and their opinions into consideration, because you never know what kinds of experiences that they've already had that are going to really benefit you. I asked around a lot, but I did not let anybody talk me into something smaller simply because they thought I was tiny and I couldn't handle it. That was not a good reason for me. It is really windy today, and riding behind this guy is not helping. This guy turning? Hills, y'all. Hills. I think I'm gonna take my gloves off. U-turn, U-turn, U-turn. You can do this, you can do this. Woo! My hands feel great without the gloves, but definitely an issue with the blood vessel. So if I can keep my head on straight, I suppose I could finish telling you what I was trying to say. Take into consideration what other people with varying experiences have to say about bike size and model, because they are going to have a perspective that's unique to them that might be able to help you out when you're going and looking at bikes. They may think about different factors on the motorcycles that you haven't considered yet, and those bits of information are going to help you choose them, and they're going to help you think about different things when you sit on a bike. I know for me, going and sitting on bikes, some of the important things were making sure. So I think that will wrap it up for today. Again, I just wanted to share a little bit about that because I had seen a lot of comments of different people asking and being told to go smaller. And if you're going to be comfortable, don't do it, man. Get the bike that you want. I had no idea how I was going to do. Absolutely no idea. But I'll be damned if I was going to get a small bike just because somebody said I couldn't handle it. If you're stubborn and driven like I am, you can do it. You can handle it. Get out there, sit on them, and pick the one that you want that's good for you. Alright, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I am so glad to be back on the road and being able to share with you. I hope that you will subscribe and like this video. If you enjoyed hearing my perspective, feel free to comment. Let me know how I'm doing. And if there's anything else that you want to hear from my perspective as a female, as a new rider, we'll leave those comments down below as well. Thank you again, and I hope you have a wonderful day.